What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brucey B here today. Skateboard Out of My Mind, episode 8. Today here with one of Memphis rap legends, Nick Hicks.
Jesus Christ, man. I appreciate that. I still be like, oh my gosh. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
I know him probably since he was, since he was 12, 11.
Damn, yeah.
Growing up on Brockman Street.
Yeah, dang, man. Man, it used to be the days right there.
Hell yeah. It was fun out there. So, I guess let's just jump right into it. So when you first started, when did you first decide you wanted to be in hip hop?
Man, I would say hip hop was something that has just been a part of my life. Feel like it's been a part of my life forever. And first memories probably I have is Dr. Jerry's Chronic.
Yeah.
His first Chronic, and seeing Nothing But a G Thing. That was one of my favorite. Chronic is in my top 10 hip hop albums of all time.
Yeah. If it's not, I think if that's not in your top 10,
man,
and you don't have it on CD or vinyl or anything, there's something wrong with you. You probably shouldn't be in the game.
that album, just sonically listening to it, the samples that he had, a lot of them, Parliament, Funkadelic, and how Dr. Dre was able to infuse that. And in the time period, too, you look at, the Rodney King stuff that was going on in LA during that time when the Chronic came out, and then for that music to kind of just be, I don't want to say to numb everything that was going on, but just, to kind of ease people's mind off of that, right? But I would say for me specifically when it came to writing, I remember, oh gosh, so this story. So I remember back when I was, let me see, it had to be 15, 16. So me and some cats, man, from the neighborhood, I had no intentions of wanting to be a rapper. I always wanted to be a DJ, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I love music, right? And so, me and a couple homies, man, we formed this group called the M-Town Soldiers, right?
Yeah. I still got the
Are you
CD.
serious? What?
It's somewhere in all this. It's somewhere in all this stuff. I've got it. I still got it somewhere.
Jeez, so
that's what I wanted to ask you about too.
Oh man,
your first little project you worked on.
Oh god, so then I hooked up with my homie Brandon Page, and so we was trying to find a studio and stuff like that. And Brandon skates as well too, right?
Yeah.
So Brandon used to come over to the neighborhood all the time, and we would just talk about stuff, and we would go to the studio record. We would right at my house and shit, and then we would go to the studio and record and stuff like that. I think we may have recorded that in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just one of those things that we did for fun.
Yeah.
Subject matter was just a lot. I can say it now, but a lot of subject matter that we talked about, we didn't really fucking do. You know what I'm saying? It was just we're still finding ourselves as
it was when you first start rapping, you just going based on what you grew up with and all that.
Yeah.
So you say, well, I want to put an album out like that too. So you just you just rap about what you heard and all that stuff.
And it was but I noticed how going into the that was kind of so 15, 16, that was my first time being exposed to the studio, being exposed to writing and stuff like that, and it was recording. It's how much of a process that it is, right? So then we recorded that, and then next thing we were in process of recording a third one, but I kind of wanted to do my own solo stuff.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of that time, I managed to kind of start finding my lane, finding who I wanted to be as an artist, right?
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was I just kind of was listening to different stuff, and really kind of the knowledge Nick came about was I became frustrated as a fan, and I was man, I was frustrated as a fan, and I wanted to create music that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I want to create stuff that I enjoy, stuff that I feel should be out there, and, and stuff like that.
Not just the same kind of stuff you hear on hip hop. Even today, just the money, girls, cars, fighting, shoot 'em up type shit. I mean, we all listen to it, you know, we all like it, but
right.
at the same time, it's like, well, who's got something else?
Yeah.
And who's got something? Because we already heard this.
Yeah.
We've been hearing it
Yeah.
for the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, who's got something else? So then you got cats like Nas.
Yeah.
Well, Nas came out. He started, and that's what, like, when you came out with the Knowledge Nick stuff, I was like, man, I said, that made me want to listen to Nas a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's like, I felt that, you know, that was the name of your album, was The Enlightenment?
The Enlightenment, yeah.
The Enlightenment.
2009.
So I was like, yeah, it's like, that's what I like. And even though our music, the WBC, even though ours is like funny stuff,
yeah.
But at the same time, I feel it's like an enlightenment too, because it's different.
Right.
Because we didn't want to, I didn't want to write about that stuff. Like we did, our first song was kind of like, I guess what people call a serious song.
Right.
You know, it was like a fight song, like, you know, and I was like, this just ain't us.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's put it on hold for a minute. Let's see what we can do. And I said, you know, everybody always said I'm a funny guy. I was like, let's keep the beats.
Yeah.
Let's do something funny.
Yeah.
So that's how we came into our group.
Yeah. Because see, I think like the thing with music and just in general is like, you know, I always tell, you know, I always just feel like music is a direct reflection of our person, like of us as a person, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the idea of speaking our truths, right? And I think I'm big on even, like, when I dropped like that stuff, I was like 21, I'm 31 now. So, like, my kind of mind frame about that is so much different than it was a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
But I think, like, speaking our truth is so important because it's like, if we can't speak our truths, then how can we have people connect to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you said, I think there's so much, you know, I feel like I've heard so much about dope dealing and all that I feel like that, you know, I feel like that, man, we've heard it so many times, but like I always say that, you know, the black struggle, man, is much deeper than that. And I feel like that, man, you have stuff talking about like mental health, depression. Like that's why I love Scarface.
Yeah,
like,
Scarface always been on a whole nother level.
Yeah. And like Scarface's music, man, when I read his book and, you know, I read about, you know, his autobiography and then like, and I have like most of his albums. So like, you know, I was always a fan of his music. But I think what resonates with me with Scarface is like a lot of stuff that I can feel.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I think that the struggle is not so much of, okay, here's this guy, he's selling drugs, stuff like that. What I've learned is I've learned to even take it a deeper. Like, even people who like sip lean, pop pills and stuff like that, you know, I've learned to not have judgment towards people like that. Because what I've learned is that, man, these people are in pain.
Yeah.
And they may not, their outlets for that pain may be those pills. It may be that lean. It may be all of that. So I've learned to be extremely compassionate to, and hearing artists who, you know, has a lot of drugs and uses it. I'm like, man, person's going through a lot of pain.
And on that, because I wanted to talk about that too. These new rappers, you know, they glorify it.
Yeah.
And like you said, they are struggling.
Yeah.
They are in pain. Like we don't see that. We just see, like a lot of people just see, oh well, he's a junkie, he's this and that.
Yeah.
And at the same, I mean, I feel you there, but at the same time, I think as musicians, we have a responsibility.
Yeah.
We have a huge responsibility because even though it's expression of ourselves,
right?
The people look at us,
right,
for an outlet too,
right?
And then when they see you glorifying the drugs, and we done had how many folks pass away this year? Yeah. Mac Miller passed away. XX, I don't even know how to say this.
Yeah, Tentacion.
Yeah, XX Tentacion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got killed. That's right. But the latest one, Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD, yeah.
You know, I think they can. I think they got a big responsibility to what they're putting in their lyrics. That goes with anyone, even me, even the stupid lyrics I write.
Right.
I have a big responsibility.
Right.
We all do.
Right.
And I think, you know, you can have that struggle, but you can put it in your music in a way that it's not glorified.
Right.
Because I think I don't know what rapper just said it, but I saw it on Facebook. They said if it ain't weed, we're not doing it.
Right. Wow.
They said that's the new motto. If it ain't weed, we ain't doing it. And I said, that's good. That's what they need to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm saying these drugs are getting stronger. People are like, the drugs are getting stronger, and they go to make your point. That's what I always appreciate about Ice-T. Ice-T's High Rollers. One thing, like, I guess, like, for me, as I've gotten older, and my brain has looked at music more critically than, not saying I go in there looking there like, but I'm able at 31 to be able to hear someone's experience and be like, okay, I do understand.
Yeah.
And I think, whereas you have a 15, 16-year-old, because I look at my 15, 16-year-old self, and I'm like, sipping on some scissor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I was younger, I used to think, oh, this is real, just out of this world. This lets you know how I didn't think of, like, I used to think scissor, was like, Aunt Jemima syrup. I'm like, why are they making a song talking about sipping on some, like, syrup? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, it was just, I think, like, the thing is, there is a responsibility that we do have, right, as artists, and to because I do agree. There comes a, like, I want to say it was Rick Ross who said, like, put Molly in her champagne, like, like, that's rape.
Yeah.
Like, people don't, they look at it and like, oh, well, now we're going to put Molly in, like, no.
Yeah, you got the younger cats who are like, and so that's what we're going to do now. Right. Like, that's what Rick Ross does.
Right.
We look up to him. We're going to go to a party. We're going to give us some Molly. Like, you can't do that.
Right. And then even who are also, not just him, but the people who are around him, the engineers, like, the people who aren't putting him, and they could have been, I don't know, the people that are putting him to the side that said, look, man, you saying put Molly in her champagne, do you think about what the effects are? So when it comes to the idea of accountability, it is a wide spectrum.
Yeah,
it's not only the artists. Correct. You have record labels. You have people who are recording this music, and he has a crew. So what I'm hearing is that basically that everyone has okayed this and said that this is okay to put out. Yeah. It's not okay. Because I'm telling you, if I recorded someone who said something like that, like, I would just probably stop right there and say, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even just from the aspect of censoring everything, but because it's your expression, but the idea of accountability. Is this what you really want to put out there for the masses to hear?
And see, that's what from my first album to now, like, I mean, we haven't put anything new out, but, I've been, getting that creative process back to wanting to try to put something new out. So I look back on my old stuff and I'm like, what can I do different? What can I, like, because there was one song, it was just, we just made it as a joke, and it was very insensitive, and I hate the damn song.
Yeah.
And it was just something that we just kind of did off the top of our head.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's like, was automatic. Okay, never nothing like that again.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was funny. We all laughed and all that, but we were younger back then. But now, like you said, you get older, you see shit differently, and it's like, and then you start to, and like I said, you start to think about, your audience too. Like what you want them to take out of it.
Right.
Because you want them to take something positive out of it.
Right.
And like your album's title, The Enlightenment.
Yeah.
You want to enlighten people.
Yeah.
It's, and I would say it's harder for me in the hip hop game.
Yeah.
Because I can't identify with everything hip hop.
Yeah.
I can't identify, with everything about what it was made for and all of this,
Right.
I just do my piece,
Right.
do the best I can in it,
Right.
because that's just, I grew up on hip hop.
Yeah.
That's just what I've been around my whole life. I love that. I mean, I love rock, and
Yeah.
I love all music.
Yeah.
As musicians, we all tend to be very eclectic.
Yes.
In our music,
Yes.
but hip hop was always just it was always just like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and I think like what's so interesting about just music in general is people sometimes the persona, right? So I've always said that Knowledge Nick and Nick, you know, me as a person are two different. They're one and the same, but they're different.
Yeah.
Like Knowledge Nick is more energetic, more outgoing, more outspoken. Yeah. Whereas Nick, I'm very introverted. Yeah. I'm very just to myself. Like just very I'm aware. Both of them are aware. There are definitely similarities, but there are vast differences. And I think so many times people will say, you know, they get caught up in a persona and then they lose themselves in a persona because I was there. Like, I know how it is, like, when you know, you're doing all these shows and things like that, and people see you as this, right? But you're neglecting who you are as an individual. And it came from me. Let me see, if I'm 31 now, this had to be like when I was 25, 26, maybe. It just came to a halt where I'm like, well, wait a minute, like, you know. And I think it was like I had a lot of shit going on in my life on a personal level. And I noticed that if Knowledge Nick had a lot of shit going on a personal level, you best believe that people will be there, blah, blah, blah. Or they will be asking, oh, when's your next? And I'm like, yo, like, I got to take care of Nick first. Yeah. And because there is no Knowledge Nick without Nick. Yeah. So a lot of times, like, what I've learned through artistry and stuff like that is just the humanity in it. And knowing that we're all individuals, we're all learning, we're all growing, and the persona is the persona, but it's like if you can't find the humanity in the persona,
you got to learn how to leave. Like when you walk off that stage, that's where you have to leave it at. Yeah, and pick it up when you go back to the stage. Yeah, because you can't. It's like movie stars, you know, they can't be, Robert Downey Jr. can't be Iron Man. Yeah. When he's off that set, he's not Iron Man, he's Robert Downey Jr. Right.
Or The Rock can't be Dwayne Johnson, you know, all the time. Yeah. You know, like, So
you have to leave your persona off, because even us, like our shows and stuff, you know, we did a bunch of shows and stuff, but, it got tiring, because... Man, I tell you, like, you think doing shows it's easy and, it's all fun and all that, but, man, you get up there and then you're, like, 30 minutes into it and you're just like, damn, is it over yet? Yeah. It's like, it's tiring as hell. I mean, it's rewarding. Yeah. Even if you don't get paid, it's just rewarding as hell, like, to say, like, I'm kind of living my dream. Yeah. Yeah. Even if you're just doing it around town, and all this stuff, like, it, to me, it's like, I've lived part of my dream. Yeah. You know.
And I think, too, man, so this is maybe 2011-ish is when I hooked up with, like, Chinese Dub Embassy Connection. And, like, we started doing, so I started, like, incorporating, like, live instrumentation with, with performance. And it because I was always a big fan of the Roots. Yeah. Always a big fan of the Roots. And so, like, I think having that live feel, like, gives, like, a performance just another level. And rest in peace to Omar, too, man. That was my guy, man. That
was really missed.
Yeah, that right there, because they came as Negro Terror. They came to Nashville earlier this year, in like January time frame. We saw each other, chopped it up. Yeah. Never what I thought, and but yeah, like, just, so I've always, I was always like, okay, I always wanted to incorporate something with my live shows. They got to a point, man, where I was like, I always wanted to be the MC, like, that would be very good equally with, like, a DJ backing me, and equally good with, like, the live band. Yeah. And not only that, but also be well versed into going into, like, a hip hop crowd, going into, like, a rock crowd, and, like, going into, like, like a neo soul crowd. So I wanted to be, like, well versed, and, like, I wanted to be able to take my artistry and say, okay, I don't just want to cater to a hip hop crowd. Like there's rock fans who love hip hop, and like bridging it all together, not forcing it. It's just you're being you, and you're just taking your spin and just okay, let me experiment with this and see how this sounds. Pretty much,
And I think, and nowadays we see that a lot in music. Nowadays is a lot of collaborations.
Yeah,
country rap.
Yeah,
you got Old Town Road, which that actually brings country rap and rock and roll, because the person who made the beat was Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
And I saw it online, and I was like, that's awesome that Trent, he wants to branch out. So you got 3 genres of music all mixed into one. So you got all these people listening to it. They don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even know that it's just country rap, rock, all mixed into one thing. And I like seeing that. And even like at festivals, Louder Than Life, it's like pretty much a rock festival, but this year they had Ice Cube.
Oh shit!
And that was, he came out, he did a thing, and you got 80,000 people.
Yeah.
80,000 metalheads out there. And the funny thing is, that's not the funny thing. That was the wrong word. I said the great thing is that people know it.
Yeah.
So you can, people have their favorite genre, but they also, they also listen to other stuff.
Yeah, and see, that's the best thing. See, that's the good thing about, and see, that's what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be like, okay, like, bring everyone together. Yeah. And because it's like, it's not just a hip-hop crowd, because again, like I said, the way I grew up around, like, gangsters and trappers. We know that from behind, stuff like that. And, people who were knee-deep into that stuff, but just bridging that together with people who may be into, like, neo soul. And people who may be into like rock, like and bringing it all together. And so it's like, I would say like when the live element kicked in, and so what used to always happen. This you talk about a real switch, right? So like when I used to be at some spots, like Chinese Connection would play stuff like that. So goddamn Omar, he used to be like, yo Nick, he was like, come here and spit some, right? I remember one time I was at, I want to say, was it the concourse? It's Crosstown Concourse over there off Cleveland Street. That used to be like the old Sears Tower by the high tower. Yeah. So I think it was like it was like a festival that was going on, right? So I remember they was like, hey Nick, come up here and rap. I was like, sure. So I didn't know, like, I knew they were gonna play like the Liquid Swords, or just a Liquid Swords joint. I was like, oh shit, what song am I gonna think? Because I'm trying to think in my head, what song do I want to think about, right? So in the midst of me like trying to get myself together, I'm like, yo, and then like, and it just happened. And beat drop, I was like, that literally was like one of those where I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll make it work. And so that one thing I always loved about them, I want to say one time we performed, oh god, there's so many times we performed. There's one time in particular we performed, I forgot where it was at, and I don't even think, because we used to rehearse. Yeah. And it got to the point to when sometimes I just be like, yo, just back me up. And it was one time we didn't even rehearse, and like we tore the house down and stuff like that. And I was just in the crowd. I was like, y'all really thought we tore that? Like, yeah, like we didn't even rehearse. It's just how we just roll. So. That's how we do. We never really rehearsed. We just were like, we're just gonna go do our thing. Yeah. We know our music. I think to me, rehearsing kind of puts like a nervousness to you. Yeah. To perform, like if you got it, you got it. Yeah. You just go out there and do it. Like, some people do need to rehearse, but I would practice. I think if you're in a band, it's good to rehearse, because you gotta remember how to play all your stuff. Yeah, but it changes in the show, because there can be, and that's the gift in it, because the power in rehearsing is, okay, hey, let's make sure we get the sounds down for the song. Yeah, that's true. But when it comes to the show just so may be so different, because I could be in the middle of just going off a vibe, and I may just spit a freestyle in the middle of my set that's just like completely different than what we rehearsed. And I think that having that, you know, and this is where the Chinese connection was really great at. And those moments when they would happen, they would just let me go. Because there were times we would do shit, and I'd be like, damn, we didn't rehearse this, but we just rolled with it. And a lot of times it worked. Yeah. It doesn't be like that with everybody. A lot of times this shit worked.
See, I was in Ohio for a while, and I didn't hear about Chinese connection, and I didn't hear about Negro Terror until I think 2016, 17, when my homie died, and he used to rock with them, and I was like, where the fuck have I been? And they wanted to do a tribute show for him, and I was like, I think I talked to Rico first, and he said, go talk to Omar about it and all that. So when I talked to Omar, he's like, of course. He's like, you're my brother now.
Yeah. That's like, how he was, man.
He's like, you knew him. He's like, you're my brother.
Yeah, that's exactly how he was.
So it was our first show we had done in probably like 10 years. Yeah. And we couldn't find a cord. I had ran all around to try to find a cord to connect. Yeah. And it didn't work. And then we had to run it through the phone. And it was just a shit show. Like our sound fucked up. I don't even think I could do the whole song before I just walked off because the sound was so messed up. But I was like, I want to try and link up with these guys more. I said they're definitely not going to let us open up for them anymore if our sound's like this. But Omar, he was, the last time I seen him, I think it was about a month before he passed. He had a Negro Terror did a show at the Canvas.
Yeah, on Madison.
On Madison,
Yep.
And I was up there, and he was always, since I'm part Asian, he always goes, "Domo arigato, my Asian brother."
Yeah.
And I carry stuff in for him and all that. Yeah. So it was good seeing him and seeing them perform one last time.
Yeah, that motherfucker used to sound like Dwayne Wayne. Every time I seen him, that motherfucker used to sound like Dwayne Wayne, man, from different world. And it used to be so funny. So like when they would do shows and shit like that, I'd be like, Rick Ross. And he'd be like, Dwayne Wayne. Used to be so funny. But yeah, it's like the one thing. Of course, I'm in Nashville now, and it's like the scene, the music is much different there. There's still like a good blend, but it's much different. But like what I appreciate about coming back home here is that maybe it's because I'm immersed in the culture here more, the community more here, but it's like the because Nashville's a predominantly country city. Yeah, there's hip hop that's there. There's a lot of neo soul. So like the artists are there, but I think like it's just more. I can't really describe it, but it's just like it's more. Just feels more maybe authentic to me here. Because it's like, I go to some shows in Nashville and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, but I'm like, shit, like, I know folks from Memphis who killing this shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, when it comes to the music, man, I've seen a lot of artists out there, but like, when it just comes to like, some of the local artists and stuff like that, it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not even holding a candlestick to the artists here in Memphis. Yeah. It's not even close. And it's like Memphis has that much. Like the artists are so gifted here, Yeah. So that's like since I moved back, that's what I've been trying to do is trying to get more into the Memphis scene. Yeah. Just because I took it for granted for so many years, because everybody's like, oh, well, check this out. I was like, oh, I'll check it out. You live here, you're like, oh, I'll check it out. Yeah. You never do, but now after Chinese dub, Negro Terror. There's a band called Mama Honey. They're kind of like a bluesy type band. They're really good. Robin X. You heard him? Yeah. He's that cat. He's going places. Yeah, man. He was a really cool dude to meet. I'm glad I got to meet him. His music is powerful stuff. Yeah. And I like the fact that he about what he raps about and all his work he does in the community against bullying and all that. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying there, like the struggle, because like I think we all And I think it gets a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, I was around a lot of dope selling and shit like that, but I can't identify or relate to it. That I never did it. I was just around it. But I can relate to being bullied. I can relate to, just like anxiety, stress, shit like that. Like that's stuff that I can resonate with. Yeah. And I think it's good to have alternative voices. Yeah. Because the struggle is not just, and suffering is not just one thing. When you think about people, it's almost like, man, it has been so programmed that if you don't like talk about dope, people don't know any other struggle but that. Yeah. But then we mask our pain through the drugs. We suppress our pain through the Molly.
Talk about why instead of just popping some more pills. Right. Go. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. So I went this morning to my therapist today. I had to go. I had an appointment today. I went this morning.
I've gone to a therapist, psychiatrist, all that, because I think it gets back, even with just the music that I've learned. Like, therapy and my psychiatrist have opened up so many. It's opened my brain up to so much, which is I'm very grateful for, because like I've even in listening to people and like when I listen to artists and stuff like that, it's transformed how I listen to people, interacted with people, because I've learned to be more compassionate to people's pain. Doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be in tune with it, but I'm compassionate to it. Now I have to recognize that if I hear somebody talking about, I hear somebody talking about, hey, like, got laid off, so I decided to snort some coke and if I can tell, like I feel like I have this instinct where I can tell when someone is glorifying it and when they're genuinely in pain. And like when they're genuinely in pain, a lot of times people go by what they know. Yeah. And what I've learned is that some people may have tried to go out to people, but they're just like, oh, you need to suppress this, you need to take it and move on. No, like we treat our feelings like it's something outside of us, which is why I don't want to say I don't believe. I don't believe in positive or negative feelings. Or what is considered positive and negative. Yeah. Feelings are just what they are. Feelings. And so whether I feel disappointed, sad, or whatnot, those are just my feelings because there is a certain need that wasn't met. Yeah. I think about the same thing when it comes to music. When I hear a lot of these artists, especially younger artists, who talk about their struggle and people, I can read it just like that when somebody's in pain. Like I can read it, and I'm like, okay, there's something definitely internal going on with him or her. Yeah. And I'm like, either the people that are around are closest to them to say that, because you'll hear it right after. They'll be like, well, this person was going through a deep depression and stuff like that. Well, why didn't he reach out? And I'm like, well, shit, when you're in that fucking state, trust me, I've been there.
You don't want to reach out.
It's not even that you want to reach, you don't know how.
Yeah, you don't know how.
And so, and it's like, you don't even know how to reach out. You cope with things the best way you know how to, during that time. So what I've learned is that I've learned to be very compassionate to people who are like that, because I feel like they're doing the best they can from what they know. And if this is what they know, and this is what they grew up, this is what they know, this is what they know. But I go back and say as well, there are other outlets for coping with that and stuff like that, and a lot of it we just have to be kind to other people.
And I think a lot of it, like with the newer cats, I think a lot of it has to do too, like honestly, with their crew. Like they see their crew being happy. They see, okay, well, we're all doing good. We're all being happy. I'm sure they're all doing the pills and they're probably all hurting. Yeah. But I think the main thing is like you can take care of your people without trying to without overpowering it. Yeah. Like it seems like a lot of people, they want to take care of their crew more than themselves. Yeah. So they see their people happy. So I think a mentality would come with like, well, I want to continue to see this. Yeah. So I'll just keep sipping lean with them. Yeah. And I'll just keep doing this. Yeah. Because your friends and all that, like basically y'all came from everybody came from the same place. Like I said, we grew up 5, 6 houses down the street from each other.
Yeah.
So we seen the same stuff. We be around the same people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, we can kind of identify a little bit.
Yeah.
Like with the same stuff.
Yeah, it's just scary, man, because it's like the music should be reflective of what's going on.
Yeah, it should be like we don't want to do lean. Like we gotta stop.
Right.
Like this person just died. We gotta change this shit. What are we doing to ourselves?
Right.
Why do we keep doing this? Let's change. And that's how it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also too, particularly in the Black community, the stigma around therapy and all that, we just gonna pray about it. And look, I'm not here. Look, I'm a faith-based guy, but I also recognize too, just as God created all of us, He also created doctors
and therapists,
all that.
Medicine.
So I always equate it to if I twist my arm like this, if I twist it like this, I'm gonna say ow.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a physical pain that's there. What we have to be able to do is identify our mental and emotional the same way.
Yeah.
We want to disassociate it from it, and it has a lot to hell. Even that has to do a lot of trauma that comes from slavery, right? Yeah. Because a lot of times, obviously, I didn't live in those times, but I can just imagine, at that time, it was okay. We got to do what we got to do to move forward, and this has been carried down to generation to generation. Problem is, I think that it's slowly turning, where the idea of going to therapy, going to see a psychiatrist is helpful. And that's the one thing about music that is that has helped me immensely. Music is therapeutic before anything, before anything, having your thoughts, and your thoughts, your vulnerabilities expressed in an art form. To me, that's what music represents, and I tend to connect with a lot of artists who, when I can hear their vulnerability, I can hear because you can feel it.
Yeah,
you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? I
think Tupac was a really big one.
Yeah,
he expressed a lot of his pain, in his music. You can feel his pain.
Yeah,
and his struggle, and you could tell he wanted to change it.
Yeah.
He didn't glorify drugs. He didn't, you'd see him on video and up in the studio smoking a blunt, but, you didn't really hear him rapping about, let's go smoke a blunt.
Yeah.
He had some songs, where, but, he had that, he was young even when he died, he was still young. He was 25?
25, yeah.
He was 25, so
shit.
Even from when he first started as a teen, and so when his last albums, you could see that maturity change.
Yeah.
Into, about, he was like, well, what do I see? What do I see? What can I change? What can I do?
Yeah.
And he even said it, himself. He's like, I might not change the world, but I will spark the brain that will change the world.
Yeah.
So in actuality, I think he will.
Yeah.
And the younger cats today, they make fun of us because, you talk about Tupac, that's cliche. I'm like, that's not cliche. That's what we grew up with.
Right.
We grew up with Tupac, Biggie, Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
That was our shit.
Yeah. Some people were with Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, man. See, when it comes to so I put Rage and Public Enemy in the same category.
Yeah.
And Chuck, it's the stances that they took, and just the live element in it. Their live shows were just fucking.
Yeah, Public Enemy was. That was one of the best shows I've seen, man. It was
very set up. Very set up.
It was crazy,
man. It's like I think,
and it's good too because they can attract everybody.
Yeah.
But even though a lot of their music, even though I can't say, well, damn, I identify with that.
Yeah.
It open because I can't.
Right.
It's not possible.
Right.
But what it can do is open my eyes.
Right. And
say, well, shit, that's something I didn't know about.
Right.
And it can open your eyes to some struggles. You know? But you know, it's I can't say. Well, I listened to Public Enemy for 30 years. I understand now. No, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I can just see, and I can work on steps to how to help.
Yeah.
Fight certain things. You know.
Yeah, and I think it goes a lot of times with women who've been like sexually molested and abused as well too, and meaning that I've never been molested, I've never been abused, sexually, but my heart goes, so I can't relate to it. The only thing that I can do is try my absolute best to understand their experience, and try to connect with the feeling, because I couldn't imagine living. And what I'm so grateful for is that there are voices of women who are coming out and saying, "Hey, this happened to me." Yeah. It takes courage to be able to speak your truth. Yeah. No matter if it's pretty or if it's dark, it takes courage to speak your truth. And it's like, I'm proud of when people take a stance on their truth. And they don't hide behind a persona. Yeah. Like they don't they are really authentically speaking their truth. If I'm having a fucked up day, I will tell you I'm having a fucked up day, and I will and I deal with it the best way I know how. Right. Yeah. But I think like the idea, music has been helpful for me. A lot of things have been helpful for me. Right. So it's like I'm just glad that there are people who have the strength and courage to speak your truth, and that was one of the things that moved me about music so much, was that you have one person who can literally have a power to affect many, and if you have the power to affect one person, then authentically, genuinely, then the job was done. Yeah. And I think like a lot of times, even in this world, that's what we go desire, the human connection, and we find connection in different things. But for us to authentically speak our truths, man, that's what music represents for me.
So that's what Kevin Gates, that's what I like about him. Yeah. He speaks his mind, and he don't give a fuck. Yeah. And he can rap about this, he can rap about that, he can be serious, he can sound kind of funny. Yeah. He has such a wide variety. And Plies. Yeah. Plies.
That dude is funny as fuck.
Plies is funny as shit, man.
That dude is funny as fuck.
You watch his shit on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, yes. That dude is funny as fuck.
And Plies brought back the Rest in Peace Homie song. Because it got kind of lost, you know. Master P did it. He did it on almost every one of his CDs for his brother. But Plies came out, and then we got some new, Rest in Peace Homie songs. And I was like, that's real, we need more of that. Yeah. And it was kind of like, also it brought into what happened, and it's kind of like, we need to change this, we need to change that, and we got to do better. Which that's for everybody, That's for every single body on this damn planet. People just so fucking ugly today. Yeah. It's just, I don't know what the fuck needs to happen. But
I think people should own like people should own just who they are, and own like their people should just own their story. Yeah. You own your story, then you don't have to worry about it coming back to you. Yeah. And so I always say, well, you own your story, and no matter how dark, it may be, no matter how pleasant it may be. I think hip hop in general needs more. It has some, but I think and look, there's club songs that's always going to be around, but the balance of having vulnerability, like you said with Plies having the Rest in Peace songs, like stepping out of the out of the norm to talk about some real shit.
Yeah, go back to NWA, go back to all of it. Just go back
and just talk about real shit, because there's a lot of shit that I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a lot of shit I just cannot identify with this. I listen, but I'm like, I identify with it. Yeah. And I'm okay with it. I don't want to sound like I'm that old dude. I'm 31. So it's like, but it's just the relatability. Yeah. And so a lot of the reason why I wanted to write music was because as a fan, that's something I connected with. Yeah. Was that relatability, the vulnerability.
See, I think that's when we lost so much with Tupac and Biggie was the relatability. Yeah. Because, you know, Tupac, he says, like, I wake up in the morning and ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? Yeah. Like, how many people have said that morning after morning?
Or even when Biggie said on the song Ready to Die is like my shit. He was like, on the song Ready to Die, he was like, fuck the world, fuck my moms and my girl. My life is played out like a Jericho. I'm ready to die. Yeah. Like,
Biggie's favorite line of mine, I just like, just relate to it so much. He said, a homie never been as broke as me. I like that. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's just fucking, that's deep as shit.
Yeah. Or even when he was like, if I wasn't in the rap game, I probably have a knee. Hold on. If I wasn't in the rap game, I probably have a key knee deep in the crack game because the streets is a short stop. Either you're slinging crack or you got a wicked jump shot. And even the song Suicidal Thoughts, he was like, man, when I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell because I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goodies dressed in white. I wear black Timbs and black hoodies. I was like, yo, like, that's like, that right there, listening to Ready to Die, like, it put me in the mindset of, wow, this dude, because he had to been like, because he was what, 24, 25 when he passed. Yeah, he was. So his experience being on the corners and stuff like that, that's what I mean to say, like, when you hear someone music who may have done that, and then you listen to it and you're just like, damn, I don't think that he was glorifying it. I think that what he was just saying, this is my truth.
This is my truth. I don't want you to know that. I'm glad you don't have to know this, or I don't want you to know it. It's like Puffy told him, though, like on the second CD, Puffy's like, all right, you rapped about your struggle. Yeah. He's like, you're not there no more.
Can't
Don't rap
about
about
it. Yeah.
He's like, rap about something else. So that when the
Life After Death.
Life After Death. Yeah. Can't even believe I forgot. Like when that dropped, you know, that was double disc CD. Yeah. And it was brilliant as hell.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times, like, my experience is, and I hear it a lot with people who, and this would be like my question to people who, you know, like live that life and 20 years later still talking about that life. Yeah. It's like, I can't, that's like me saying, okay, I can't talk about the same shit I did when I was 15, 16. I'm 31 years old. Yeah. I'm a completely different man than I was when I was 15, 16, right? Complete 180, but nonetheless, but it's like, so I can't talk about, you know, cussing out women. I did that when I was younger, but I can't do it now. Yeah. I'm more involved. Like, people, I think the thing is, it's no disrespect to people who, you know, who live that life, but man, if you're removed from that life and you have a good life, then celebrate that good life and talk about that good life.
Talk about the good life.
We don't want to hear that you're still selling keys and you're not doing that no more. What the fuck? Yeah. Come on, man. Like, you're not moving keys and shit like that no more. So
glorify that you're not doing that no more.
Why? Like, why the fuck? Why? Yeah.
Like show these younger generation that's not what the fuck we got to do anymore. Right. You know, this is your outlet. You can do this. You know, you can make it a reality. Right. Like, it's going to be hard as hell. Yeah. It's going to be hard. Music industry going to eat you up, spit you out. Yeah. But if you persevere through it all, you can do it. Yeah. Even if it's just for a short period of time, like me, like who knows? Maybe I'll make another record. Maybe I'll do some more shows. But if not, I still got that chunk of life that I did my dream. Yeah. You know, I didn't play Madison Square Garden or nothing, but you know, I did my dream. I played with some pretty big names. Yeah. You know, around Memphis. Yeah. It was pretty cool. You know, and my music, like I said, we just made funny music.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I wanted to show, you know, you can do this and not be so serious.
Yeah.
You can have a funny side, but then again, at the same time, because you know, like Eminem, he always had some funny shit, but it was like I was always darker.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just be like, just straight, like almost like a Weird Al type thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can just, because we have a song called Blah Blah Blah. Like my verse is just random words.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be like, you can get up there and you can just sing random words and say, people are gonna call you out the blue and say your stupid song is stuck in my head.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, you could do something different. You know, that's what, and I think that's what music. It should always be moving up. It should always be progressing. We should always. And to me, right now, it seems like we're just stuck in a stagnant state.
Yeah.
Like where every single rapper sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like I can't differentiate who's who.
And I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't remember last time I listened to the radio.
I can't do it, man.
So like I listen to Spotify, and that's the beauty of like Spotify and YouTube. Like I go back and listen to the shit that I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, you don't have to, you know, and of course I still go, you know, hunting for records and shit like that. But for my listening pleasure, you know, I go back and I find shit that I like to listen to. That's the one beauty about today is that it with a click of a finger, I can listen to what I want to listen to. Not that I still buy music and shit like that, but it's like just the how accessible it is to be able to go back. You know, if I want to listen to like MP The Last Don, you know, that album was
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh man,
double disc too. It's hard. It's hard to write that many songs.
Yeah,
that many bangers too. You know.
Be gone, and we gonna be here till we dead. Yeah.
I just found my disc 1 of it the other day.
Wow, I got on cassette. Dude.
Oh, you got on cassette? Nice.
I got on cassette.
I found my True CD, the True to the Game. I found that the other day. I found Ghetto Dough. And it sucks because I had lost all those, so I had rebought them.
Yeah.
So I wish they would put those on vinyl. Like
I seen the Ice Cream Man on vinyl.
The Ice Cream Man on vinyl.
I've
See
seen
that?
Man,
that was
Ice Cream Man so fucking hard, man.
Like I remember the first time I heard Master P was it wasn't Ice Cream Man. It was actually Make 'Em Say
Wow.
And I said, I don't like this. I said, what's he doing? Saying, I said, I don't like that. So I quit listening. And then somebody let me listen to Ice Cream Man. And they were like, listen to About It.
Man. Oh.
And see, at that point, I was kind of getting picked on in school. I think I was in 9th grade when that shit came out. And I was getting picked on in school. And then my brother-in-law at the time, he's like, well, what are you scared of? They're just people. Man. So he said, pop them in the nose if you had to. He's like, they're just people. They bleed like you. So I was like, oh, shit. Then I heard About It, and I was like, hold up. I said, ain't nobody finna step to me no more.
Mia X's verse on that. People sleep on Mia X, man.
Mia X is like...
People sleep on Mia X, man. Like, from just like... Because you have, you know... When people talk about female MCs, like, people sleep on Mia X. Because her pin game, man, was vicious, man. Like, Mia X was so hard. And people sleep on Mystical, too.
Yeah, Mystical, people always sleep on him.
Like, people, when it comes to solo, like, yeah, like, he could go toe-to-toe with anybody. But Mia X, man, her verse on About It was just... so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
Just, she always had a crush on her too.
On Mia X, man. Oh man.
I always had a crush on Mia X. On the movie Bout It.
Yeah.
She said, "You see this? Hold that bullet." She throw that. She's like, "Catch it." He called. He said, "Now we'll see if your bitch ass catch the next one." I was like, "Oh shit."
Man, that was some good times right there. Ain't gonna make me listen to the Ice Cream Man when I leave from here.
Yeah, that's my man. I somebody gave me the bootleg tape. And the song that he did for his mom there, No More Tears, it was actually a different beat that he used on that one. And I hate I lost that because it was the bootleg tape before the CD came out. Dang. And I was just like, man, that's what Master P, he's always been, to me, like the most truthful rapper out there. You know, he rapped about the game, but like you said, he wasn't glorifying it.
Yeah.
Because he'll rap about it and then he'll come out with like Ghetto Heroes. Yeah. Saying, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. If you stay in this fucking game. Yeah. Your name's going to be added to this list of people. And it sucks, Some people, that's just all they want to know, all they want to do.
And I think it's just people hear the good sides of, trapping and stuff like that. But people, I'm saying, man, there are people who are dead or locked up because of their lifestyle. And if you're willing to, and if you accept that that's the reality of it, then by all means go for it.
Then you'll be, like Master P said, don't end up being a ghetto hero. Don't be another statistic. Yeah. That's what he said on the song, don't end up to be another statistic. Yeah. But that's why he called them my ghetto heroes. Yeah. So but like I said, to me, it gives me the opportunity to be more knowledgeable. Yeah. About the subjects, like I said, a lot of it I can't ever relate to, but it gives me a window to see the struggle, be an ally.
Right. Right. No, I agree, and I think the more that I've gotten older, the more I'm able to just kind of listen to music, and I'm able to pinpoint a lot of things. And I'm just like, hip hop is a very we mask our pain through our bravado, but but finding that soft spot, as we all do, and it's like we're afraid of it. Yeah. But it's that spot that allows us for true connectedness, human connectedness, which is something that we all desire in this world, right? And so, again, when it comes to music, for me, that's what it always is. As I've gotten older, that's what it represents for me. I don't give a shit about spitting the hardest and shit like that. Yeah. I can now, and I've been now, and I would say I've been very fortunate to open up for a lot of great acts. I'll say that. Raekwon and Ghostface.
Raekwon's the best. I'm biased, but that's my favorite.
Man, opening up for them was like a dream. It was like my dressing room was like right next to theirs, so I was back there with them. And I remember I brought all my Ghostface shit. They already signed and I brought the purple tapes as well too. Cuban Link shit. So they signed all that shit, and so Al Capone, Gift of Gab from Black Alicious, a whole lot of artists I've been very fortunate to, perform in front of and rap, and so I think, but the Ghost and Rage show, that shit it was at 1884 in Minglewood. Yeah. This place was packed when I got on stage. It was at least,
when was that?
That was 2015-ish.
Okay, I was in Ohio. That's right, I was in Ohio and I was pissed off because I was trying to figure out a way to get back to that.
Dude, that shit was fucking live. To be able to, it was like I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone. But to be able to rap in front of my favorite peers and shit like that, that's
See, I missed a lot of opportunities, because of my anxiety, just calling up the venues and be like, "Yo, do you have any spots open?" Yeah, I never did that. I just was too scared. Yeah, because I was like, "Well, what if they say yes?" And here comes ICP. And I'm opening up for ICP. Yeah. And I get chewed up, spit out. Yeah. And then Young Buck, we did try to open up for him. And his manager's like, well, we want $150 and y'all got 3 songs. I said, well, You want me to pay you $150 to perform?
Yeah. No.
I was like, no. I was like, you can keep that shit. I said, it's Young Buck, for God's sakes. I was like, maybe if it was Master P, I might do it, but I'm not paying $150 to open up for Young Buck.
Yeah. It was like, and then just being able, I say it's a blessing to be able to perform. It's been a while since I've, kind of just, because now I'm at the stage of my life where, I'm still writing and recording.
Yeah.
2020, hopefully I can release this album. It's a very, it's a very dark album. I'll say that because it was very reflective of place and space that I was in and sometimes currently in.
Yeah.
So being able to write, music that's reflective of my space is very key. And there's some things that kind of went on that I even still just kind of want to talk about. So I started writing and recording earlier in the year and got some solid songs. But I said, okay, 2020, I definitely plan to release this album, and just for it to, it's gonna be a very dark album, but I think it's a dark, but it's a very truthful album.
Yeah.
Like this is some shit you just cannot fabricate.
Yeah.
You cannot fabricate, what it means when you lose a parent and you feel like you're going fucking crazy, but let alone it's just the grief. You can't fabricate being able to lose someone and you see him in the casket and this is the fucking last time you'll see him.
Yeah.
Can't fabricate that shit.
Yeah.
And so I think we need more voices like that. So I was like, okay, I want to be able to. It took me some time to get to the point to where I wanted to start with the music because I was still kind of processing my shit. And I was like, and it helped. And it's helping. So maybe when I get focused and disciplined and finish it up, I think this is going to be my favorite one because it's just coming from an extremely honest place. A very honest, vulnerable place.
Yeah.
And if you can't see the humanity in that shit.
See, I think that's where I'm stuck at right now with my music is, I've had people tell me, well, maybe if you write about, your mental illness, write about, you going to Lakeside, being impatient, write about this, write about your homie who passed, or that, and I'm like, man, it's like, I want to do that, but at the same time, I want to have my funny stuff too.
Yeah.
So I want to, I want this out. I don't know. So I want to maybe I can write 2 albums, or just one and make like funny, serious, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I've had writer's block for a long time, and I think that's the thing that's stopping me is wanting to write about my feelings, but just scared to.
Yeah.
Knowing that it could help somebody out because we did have one song we put out. We used that Tupac beat Pain. Yeah. And then we called it The Type of Shit. Yeah. And that was, I had somebody reach out to me on MySpace. That's how long ago that shit was. That's how long ago that song came out, was MySpace. So we had somebody message us talking about, this song helps me when I'm down and all this. And I was like, okay. It's like, so maybe we can write some more songs like this, and still be funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's the thing is that balance, right? And because like with this album I'm working on, I'm probably to be honest, I'm 75% done with it. Yeah. So I literally was recording, getting beats on the low, and I was just like, okay. And then, but there's still some things I kind of want to explore, which is I'm really glad that I'm taking my time. That's another thing that I'm really glad that this year I feel like was just I lost so many people this year, and it's taking me through a spin, even having an emotional mental breakdown. I really want to talk about that because that's something I've never experienced before, and now I'm at the place where okay, how do I put this in a rhyme? Yeah. And so being able to openly talk about things that I went through, traumatic experiences I went through, this past year and so it changed and stuff like that. And what am I doing to help, the next person? Yeah. Because I think it's not so much of me saying you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. It's more so, okay, here's my pain, here's my truth, as I call it. Here's how I got over that truth.
Yeah.
And it's not glorifying this. It's here to help you when you're going through whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this album will represent. And once it's done, because again, after what happened the other day, there's still some things I need to explore. Yeah. I think I need some of those rest in peace songs.
Yeah.
I think I need some songs that even, because because what that has done for me is made me even more just fucking paranoid, fucking thinking about my own fucking mortality, shit like that.
That's what it make you do. You be like, shit.
And so
it make you think about your own, and you're just like.
So I want to explore talking more about shit like that, because I have enough, but I feel like it will be complete if I really just talk about that shit. I feel like once I get that shit out.
See, I think that's what I need to do. I think I just need to write my rest in peace song for my friend.
Hard,
and I mean, he passed in 2003, and even still, I'm still just so fucked up about it. Like, you know, I've had tons of people pass.
Yeah.
You know, but there's always some that hurt you a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds bad, but you know.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you can just process some easier than the others.
Yeah, and I think, like, man, especially when you grew up with them.
Yeah.
And you just seen them.
Yeah.
In my case, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Try to reach out to them. You know, I think that was a tough part for me. And I'm like, damn, I just seen this man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's always hard. It's just
like, you know, it fucked with me I can't get no sleep that night. And then, like, when my dad passed, that changed everything, because it was like, you know, losing a parent, I tell you, that's the hardest thing. That's the most challenging thing about life that I've ever had to go through in my 31 years. Having to plan a funeral on your own, all that shit, put your feelings to the side, to plan, organize, and execute that. That's the hardest thing. And I think I've had people who've passed, but when you lose a parent, it's much different, because now my grief, and thank God for therapy, my psychiatrist, because there were times, man, I was really good. And at the time, it wasn't that I was bad, but it was just like I would have my down moments.
Yeah.
There'll be times I'll be like, yo, like, you know, I want, you know, I'd be happy, but then, like, there'll be times I get really sad.
Yeah.
But it all came to a head, like, when my dad's sister passed in September.
Yeah.
So, and then having a cousin who has cancer all in the same day, work was hectic, you know. Thinking about my aunt who passed, which we had her funeral like that Saturday. My dad's passing is the underlining of all of it. Now, at the time, I didn't know what the hell was going on with it. Then the cousin, find out the same day the cousin has cancer, like stage 3 cancer. Like, that shit right there, just, for me, I did what I did best. Isolated myself, you know, wrote in my journal, and you would have thought somebody passed, because I was just exhausted mentally and emotionally. It was like a complete breakdown.
Yeah.
And it was like so tunnel vision, and it was like I didn't realize what was going on, and it scared me, because it's not that I was gonna do like anything like flip tables and shit like that, but it was just like, you know, something is in you, but you can't pinpoint what is wrong with you.
Yeah.
And what my therapist and I'm very grateful for my therapist and my psychiatrist, because a lot of it is just unresolved grief, so we were able to work through that. But I really want to talk about that in my music.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about, you know, those struggles and how you can overcome those, or not really overcome them, but how you can make them better, as I say. So,
which I think that's good, because, you know, that's something we don't talk about. This mental illness, mental health, you know, and then like men in general, and then like you said, especially black men.
Yeah.
We're all told, well, since you're fucking men, what do you need to go to therapy for? You need to suck that shit up.
Yeah.
You know, put it deep down, and then like they tell you, oh, you know, well, you're a black man, you know, you're a strong black man, you know, you don't need therapy, you don't need this.
Yeah.
You know. And then it don't help that a lot of churches are like, well, you don't need to go there. Like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Which I'm fortunate enough to go to a church that believes in that kind of
stuff. Yes.
So that helps a lot too. That, you know, you can have, you know, an outlet at your church. You know, you can go talk to your pastor if you need to, and he's not going to judge you.
Yeah.
You can go talk to him.
Yeah.
And that's a big help.
Yes. I think we all, when it comes to, you know, therapy and stuff like that, I think what I wanted, my goal for this album is to be able to speak my truth, convey it in a way that people can feel comfortable about speaking their truth without judgment.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's what we all want. We all want to be able to speak how we feel, our truth, our feelings, without having to feel like, oh, it's mine. You know, like,
yeah.
I think we all want that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can't wait to hear it, man.
Yes, it'll be there. 2020, that's one of my goals for this year, is to finish this album.
Yeah, last year my goal was to start writing the album, and I never did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe this year, I don't like odd numbers. So maybe this year, 2020, it's an even number all year, even number all the way around. So maybe it'll be my year. Maybe we'll put a new CD out, the first one since 2006, I think.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, time, like when it comes to music, man, there's no fucking expiration date.
Yeah.
There's no fucking expiration date on my experience.
Yeah.
Your experience. Hey, Ladybug. There's no fucking expiration date on that shit. Like there's no expiration date. There's no fucking time. There's no age limit. If you got something to fucking say it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what art is about. Like, art isn't about, you have to be with this, you have to be with that. No, like, you speak your fucking truth. At the end of the day, you speak your truth. And then, you know, the truth shall set you free.
See, with music, it's funny because, like I said, I think we have a responsibility, but also I think people need to realize, too, and this is the big main thing they need to realize, is that music is expression of our own self.
Right.
So don't take this shit literally to your own life.
Right.
Because like Metallica had a song called Fade to Black.
Yeah.
People were killing themselves listening to it. Wow. They wanted to take it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Blink-182 Adam's song.
Yeah.
Somebody from Columbine who survived it, he hung himself, had that song on repeat. They wanted to take the album off the shelf, repress it without that song on there, but they were like, this is not your life, this is my life. So while I think we do have a big responsibility, the listener also has a responsibility also to say, okay, well, this is Nick's life.
Right.
This is knowledge Nick's life.
Right.
You know, it's going to help me through, but also I don't, you know, it's not my life.
Correct. Yeah.
So the listener also has, you also got to have a responsibility as a listener, because we all know the songs we can listen to be sad.
Yeah.
We all know the songs we can listen to be happy.
Yeah.
And that's where our responsibility comes in.
Yeah.
Because if we, you know, we can loathe in our sadness, we could just be like, today's a fucked up day, I just want to be sad. So we put the sad shit on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's our own fault, our own responsibility.
Yeah. And
then we can say, well, I'm not going to be like that today. I'm going to go put some good shit on. So we put it on. So that's our responsibility. That's our reasoning as to why we're happy. So it's always, even with the newer rappers and their drug glorifying and all that, it's still, listener has some responsibility to it.
And I think I think what I've learned as I've gotten older is, if we all move away from, oh, it's my fault, it's his fault, what am I responsible for? We move toward, what am I responsible for?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this world will be so much accountable, so much responsible. And I think this would be a better world, because then we're able to say, okay, it's not really saying it's anybody's fault. What is my responsibility?
Yeah.
My responsibility is to listen to it. I can listen to it, but it's also my responsibility to not go out and do the things that this person is saying.
Yeah.
So, if this world, man, that has helped, like, if we frame our brains around and say, okay, you know, even just everyday life, you know, it's no one's fault, it's no one to blame. What am I responsible for?
Yeah.
once I get to say what am I responsible for, that's the most empowering thing ever, because like once you can identify what you're responsible with, you hold yourself accountable to it, and then you hold yourself responsible to it. And if you hold yourself to that standard, man, this world will be such a better place, because everybody will be striving for bigger and better.
Yeah.
You know,
and you would think that would be just common sense to want to do that, especially when we see what's going on out there in the world today and just how bad it's getting. You would think that we would want to strive to do better, but it's all about me, give me. It's like, I'm not, there's no more love for the fellow man.
Right.
And we're letting a small smidgen of population dictate how 326 million Americans live.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to say, well, this is how this is going to be, this is how this is going to be. The media is bullshit.
Yeah.
They're fucking with us. They're trying to divide us.
Yeah.
And people are falling for it.
Yeah.
And they don't look at it as, well, that's bullshit, because that's not really how it is.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, well, I believe him. It's on the fucking news.
Yeah.
Or it's on fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
And so it's all about self.
Yeah.
And people out there are so quick to pull a gun and shoot you, or just so quick to do something bad to you. And it's just, I don't get it. It seems no matter what, it just seems the harder you try to fight it, the harder they come back at you with their bullshit.
Yeah.
But love will win.
Yes.
It drives out the darkness.
Yes.
Because as you see, even though it's like that, we still see glimpses of light.
Yes. Yes.
And those glimpses of light is what's going to keep shining through until eventually, it's just full of sunshine.
Right. All right.
Until the bad guy, I guess, has no more say in what to do.
Right.
And hopefully it comes soon, because we need some. Maybe 2020 is the turn of the century.
Man, I hope so, man.
A new decade, and
I hope so.
just time for everybody to come together and just realize that unity is where it's at, because unity is what scares the government.
Yeah.
And that's why they try to separate us.
Yeah.
Because if we're together, then they can't stop us.
Yeah.
Like Ice-T said, what was that Ice-T song? No Lives Matter. He said, when you break it down to the dirty fucking truth, they don't give a fuck about none of us. And I post that song, every couple months I post that song, and I tell people, listen to the damn words.
Yeah.
Stop letting them win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let them prosper off the divide.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're prospering off the divide of us. You got people who are lifelong friends who are ending friendships. People who just are ending friendships over stupid shit.
Yeah. And
stupid shit like this because we can't sit down and talk no more.
Yeah.
They just want to believe this or believe that. And I'm like, man, we got to just stop and realize we're all on this rock together.
Yeah. And I think for our role, like what it comes down to, man, is there's so much rage in people that people don't take that time to step back and say, okay, you really hurt my feelings here.
Yeah.
Or, you disappointed me here. Instead, what happens is that we act purely on emotion, and, that can be dangerous because but it's dangerous, but if this is what all someone knows, this is all that they know.
Yeah.
A lot of times people aren't, I don't want to say trained. Well, yeah. A lot of people aren't trained to learn how to deal with their feelings, emotions, etc. Yeah. So they go by what they knew and their defense mechanisms and protecting themselves and things like that, right? Yeah. So I think, there's just so much just rage that I feel like that's in people, man. And it's like, if we step back and look at it and be like, if I have a problem with somebody, you know, people may think it's the weak thing to do to sit up, and if you have a problem with somebody, you sit down and you talk about it. No, that's not the weak thing to do. I think so many times we hear we have to fight with one another. We have to shoot them up, bang, bang. No, like, the more mature thing is to sit up and say, hey, I have an issue with you.
Yeah.
You know, you hurt me here. How can we resolve this? I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who, Biggie and Tupac are prime examples. If you take, and there's many people, in, you know, even in, you know, local communities and things like that. If you have a problem with somebody, oh my goodness, like, talk it out.
Yeah.
Like call each other, whatever. Leave the entourages, whatever, alone, and just talk it out between you and the individual. Yeah. Now, if y'all decide to throw blows after that, so be it. But a conversation, like being able to have a dialogue with people. But the problem is we're so hurt on the inside, and that we take that emotion and then we just, you know, like, and it's just like, like, we kind of have to be rational about. It's okay to be hurt.
Yeah.
It's okay to be hurt, but how we channel that hurt
and express
it is much different.
Yeah.
Where the improvement can be.
Yeah.
And so, but I understand it. A lot of times if people haven't, this is what they know, but there's always a better way. Is what I say.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes.
This has been great, man. Maybe we can do it again
anytime.
It's been great. Thanks for tuning in and watching.
Yeah.
Nick, be on the lookout for his new CD next year.
Next year, Lord willing. Lord willing.
But click, share, like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.